All right, so today we're going to dive into something pretty fascinating, AI agents in the workplace.
Yeah, it's a topic that's really starting to heat up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And we've got a great article here called How Are Companies Using AI Agents? And it profiles 5 companies that are already using this technology in some really interesting ways.
Yeah, I mean it's not just theoretical anymore, right? These companies are seeing real, tangible results, and it's really making people think about what the future of work could look like.
Exactly. And I think before we get into the specific examples, maybe it'd be helpful to just kind of level set and define what we're talking about when we say AI agent.
Sure. So, we've all heard of chatbots, right?
Yeah.
So a chatbot is kind of a reactive technology.
Mm.
You ask a question, it gives you an answer. But an AI agent is much more autonomous. It can take instructions, it can break down complex tasks into steps, and it can execute those steps without human intervention.
So it's like having a super efficient digital worker that can actually take your to-do list and just get it done.
That's a great way to put it.
So let's talk about some of these companies that are using AI agents in really interesting ways. One that really jumped out at me was Johnson and Johnson. They're using AI agents to help with drug discovery.
Yeah, that's a really fascinating example, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, think about how complex drug discovery is. It's like, trying to solve a giant puzzle, and AI agents can help scientists try out different puzzle pieces much faster than they could manually.
So it's like speeding up the whole process of developing new medicines, potentially even life-saving drugs.
Exactly, and that has huge implications for, the future of healthcare.
It's mind-boggling, really.
Mhm.
Another company that caught my eye was Moody's, the financial giant. They're using AI agents for financial analysis, but with a really interesting twist. These AI agents can actually disagree with each other.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting. They've created what's called a multi-agent system, and each AI agent in this system has its own specialized knowledge, its own perspective, and even its own kind of risk tolerance.
So it's like having a panel of experts, but they're all AI.
Exactly. And it's fascinating to think about how you would weigh the advice of these different AI agents, especially when they're giving you conflicting recommendations.
It's like, who do you trust, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you've got multiple AI experts telling you different things, how do you make a decision?
Well, that's a question we're going to have to grapple with as this technology evolves. There's
Yeah.
no easy answer.
And it makes you wonder about, the future of financial advice. Are we all going to be consulting with AI experts instead of human financial advisors?
It's definitely a possibility, and it's something that financial advisors are going to have to adapt to.
So we've got AI agents helping with drug discovery. We've got them giving financial advice. Another company that's doing something really interesting is eBay. They're using AI agents to write code and even create marketing campaigns.
Yeah, this is a great example of how AI agents can be used for creative tasks, not just, rote work.
It's like, are we seeing the emergence of AI creativity here? It's a little unsettling, isn't it?
It's both exciting and unsettling because it makes you wonder what the limits of AI are. If they can write code, if they can create marketing campaigns, what else can they do?
So it's like, are we underestimating the potential of AI here?
I think it's definitely possible. We're still in the early stages of understanding what AI is capable of.
All right, so we've got drug discovery, financial analysis, creative tasks. What other industries are being impacted by this AI agent revolution?
Well, one example that comes to mind is Deutsche Telekom, the telecommunications giant. They've implemented an AI agent that acts as an internal ask me anything for their 80,000 employees.
So it's like a super powered HR representative that's available 24/7.
Exactly. And they're even exploring the possibility of using this AI agent to automate tasks like vacation requests
Wow, so it's like streamlining all those HR processes.
and potentially increasing employee satisfaction because
Hmm.
they're getting faster responses to their inquiries.
But it also makes you wonder about, the impact on HR jobs.
That's a valid concern, and it's something that Deutsche Telekom is aware of. They're trying to find ways to retrain and redeploy employees who might be affected by this technology.
And speaking of the impact on jobs, there's a company called Cosentino that's using AI agents to form a digital workforce,
Yeah.
and they're actually replacing human customer service roles with these AI agents.
Yeah, this is a really interesting case study because it raises some really important ethical questions about the role of AI in the workplace.
Like, are we prepared for a future where AI is taking over jobs that were traditionally done by humans?
Exactly. And how do we ensure that this transition is fair and equitable for everyone involved?
It's like, are we entering a new era of work where AI is our colleague rather than just a tool?
It's a question that we need to be asking ourselves, and it's a question that Cosentino is grappling with as they implement this digital workforce.
So it seems like these companies are really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI agents. This isn't just a passing trend, is it?
Yeah. No, I think it's safe to say that AI agents are here to stay, and they're going to have a profound impact on the way we work.
So we've seen the potential benefits of AI agents, but what about the potential downsides?
Well, there are certainly some risks involved, and that's what makes these early examples so valuable. They're not just showcasing the possibilities, they're also forcing us to confront the potential challenges head on.
So let's unpack some of those challenges. Where do we even begin?
Well, one of the most pressing concerns is the potential impact on jobs. The article mentions employees being freed up for other tasks, but what will those tasks be? Are we adequately preparing the workforce for a future where AI can handle many of the jobs we do today?
It's kind of like, are we setting ourselves up for a major, workforce disruption?
Yeah, it's a tough question, isn't it? Like, are we giving people the skills they need to succeed in a world where AI is doing more and more of the work?
And then there's the whole question of is this even worth it? Sure, AI agents sound amazing, but is the ROI actually there?
I mean, that's the big unknown, right? Companies are investing a lot of money in this technology, assuming it's going to make them more efficient, more productive, and ultimately save them money.
Yeah.
But we don't really know yet if that's going to pan out.
It's a gamble, right? And speaking of risk, what about cybersecurity? Like having all these AI agents running around making decisions, interacting with sensitive data, it seems like it could be a hacker's paradise.
Oh, absolutely. Gartner actually predicts that by 2028, a quarter of all enterprise breaches will be linked to AI agent abuse.
So it's like AI agents becoming the weak link in the chain.
Exactly, and that's a really scary thought.
So how do we balance, the potential benefits of AI agents with these very real security risks?
Well, it's going to require a whole new approach to cybersecurity.
Mhm.
Traditional security measures might not be enough. We need to be thinking about AI-specific threats and how to defend against them.
So it's like we need to build a whole new security infrastructure just for AI.
And it's not just about technology either. It's about ethics. How do we ensure that AI agents are being used responsibly? How do we prevent them from being exploited for malicious purposes?
So we're talking about ethical guidelines for AI development and deployment.
Exactly, and this is something that needs to be addressed at every level, from the companies creating the AI agents to the governments regulating them.
It seems like we're just scratching the surface of a very complex issue here.
I think you're right. This is a really big conversation, and we're only just starting to have it.
I was thinking about this the other day, and it occurred to me that there's this whole other dimension to the AI agent thing that we haven't really talked about.
Oh, really?
What's that? Well, it's beyond the practical stuff, the economics, the cybersecurity. There's something kind of awe-inspiring about all this. We're talking about creating artificial entities that can learn, adapt, perform complex tasks often better than humans can.
Yeah, you're right. There's a certain wonder to it. It's a testament to human ingenuity, our ability to create these incredible machines.
And it's kind of like we're unlocking something really profound here, but we also need to be careful with it.
It's that duality, right? The excitement and the anxiety. That's what makes this whole topic so fascinating.
Exactly. It's both exhilarating and terrifying at the same time.
It makes me wonder, if you could create your own custom AI agent, what would it be? What's your dream AI assistant?
That's a good question. Maybe an AI agent that could sift through all the information overload we're bombarded with every day and just give me a concise summary of what's important.
Oh, that would be amazing. Like a personal curator of knowledge.
Right. It would free up so much time and mental energy.
But then there's that risk, right? What if it starts filtering information based on its own biases and I end up in an echo chamber?
Yeah, that's a good point. We need to be careful about that.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we have transparency and control over how these AI agents are making decisions.
And it's not just about individual control either. It's about societal control. What happens when AI agents start making decisions that impact our lives in really big ways? Who's responsible then?
It's a lot to think about, isn't it?
It is. It's a whole new world we're entering, and we need to be prepared for it.
It's not just about technology. It's about the future of work, the future of society, even the future of what it means to be human.
You said it.
Yeah.
And while we don't have all the answers, one thing's for sure, AI agents are here to stay.
So it's up to us to shape how they develop and make sure they're used for good.
And that's a conversation we need to have as a society.
So to our listener out there, we challenge you to think about this. What kind of world do you want AI agents to create? What role do you envision them playing in your life? And what steps can we take collectively to ensure a future where both humans and AI can thrive?
It's an ongoing conversation and one that we'll no doubt revisit in future deep dives.
For now, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.
Yeah, it feels like we're kind of at this point where we have this amazing technology, but we also have to be really careful with it.
Yeah, like we can't just get caught up in like, oh, wow, this is cool. We got to think about like, what are the consequences? And I think that's what's so great about these deep dives is that, we can kind of bring these issues to light and get people thinking about them.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not just about understanding how the tech works. It's about like how it's going to affect our lives, our jobs, our society.
Right. And I think that's where the real conversation starts.
Mm.
Like once we understand the implications, then we can start figuring out how to navigate them.
And that means like, asking tough questions, being willing to challenge our own assumptions about what the future is going to look like.
Absolutely. So for our listener out there, we've only scratched the surface here, but hopefully we've given you some food for thought.
Yeah, like this is a topic that deserves a lot more attention, and we're going to keep exploring it in future deep dives.
But for now, we want to leave you with this one question.
Hmm.
If you could create your own AI agent, what would it be? What would be your dream scenario, and what potential downsides would worry you?
It's a question worth thinking about because the future of AI is really in our hands.
So let's be thoughtful about it. Let's be informed. Let's make sure we're shaping a future where AI is a force for good in the world.
All right, well, that's about all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI agents.
And thanks to our expert for sharing your insights.
It was my pleasure.
We'll see you next time.